Assalamualaikum to all. Before I start presenting, I would like to thank our hydrology lecturer, Dr. Muhammad Khairul bin Hamdun. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Wahida Amali, meeting Muhammad Zamawi, metric number DF200102. Let me introduce our other presenter. For the second presenter is Nur Shafina binti Ismail. Third presenter is Fatin Hana binti Abdul Rahman. Fourth presenter is Muhammad Idlan Haris bin Muhammad Amin. And fifth presenter is Muhammad Idham bin Muhammad Amin. Okay, in this chapter, which is abstract, we define infiltration and the infiltration rate. So, infiltration is actually an indicator of the soil ability to allow water move in or out and through the soil. So, soil usually store water as it used for uptake, plant growth, soil organism habitat, and many other uses. While infiltration rate is actually the calculation of the rate at which water enters the soil during storm or other factors. The rate of calculation must be equal to either the infiltration capacities or the rainfall rate, whichever is the lower. The rate or the calculation is obtained and determined from field data. And in this study from other researchers, we found out that there are various and different methods and types of equipment used to measure infiltration rate. But we found out that there are three most common methods used, which are flooding of basins, for sprinkling, and infiltrometering, which we discussed in the study. Therefore, our main aim of this study is actually to review various or different infiltration measurement methods on the soil. From the research also, we found out that there are a lot of factors affecting infiltration, including the state of land surface, land vegetation cover, surface soil characteristics, storm characteristics, surface soil and water temperature, chemical properties of soil or sediments, and also the types or method used. Therefore, we can conclude that specific values of infiltration rate for a specific type of soil or sediment is likely non-existent, or we can call it as non-exist, and the rate or the measure rate is just for comparative purpose or use only. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Let me move to the next presenter, who is Shafina. Yes, Shafina, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Shafina binti Ismail. I will present for introduction. Infiltration of water is a major process in various fields such as hydrology, agriculture, and hydraulic works. As we all know, infiltration is one of the most significant aspects for irrigation. Infiltration is the process of movement of water entering the soil surface. There is a few factors that affect water infiltration are initial moisture content of the soil surface, organic material in soil, texture and structure, and porosity. From figure here, we can see that infiltration rates are lower in heavy textured soil. Next, infiltration measurement is a technique used in design construction and water quality engineering to assess where a contaminant has passed through a barrier. The method used in this research are flooding of basins, furrow sprinkling, and infiltrometering. Thank you. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
I am Fatin Hana binti Abdul Rahman. I'm going to talk about comprehension review. Infiltration is the process where water goes through the soil, and it is sometimes described as a downward flow of water from soil surface. There are three methods that you can use for infiltration measurement. First is flooding of basins. Second is sprinkling, or the other name is rainfall simulation, and the third one is infiltrometering. Flooding of basins. Infiltration basins can be used for infiltration, recharge, and storage excess water that happens from stormwater due to the urban development. The infiltration and recharge from infiltration basins are linear to the infiltration basins area. Sprinkling or rainfall simulation. There is a research about physical rainfall simulation, and from the research they found out that urban rainwater infiltration are efficiently increased by urban rainwater adjustment. Rainfall simulation also can be used in agriculture, but there is effect of rainfall simulation on soil surface roughness. The less rainwater loss on the smooth surface, and there is more water loss on rough surface. that is the effect. And the last one is infiltrometer rings. Infiltrometer rings is widely used to measure unsaturated hydraulic conductivity. And initial infiltration rates are very fast, and it is directly proportional to the infiltration area.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Idham bin Muhammad Damir. So I will be doing the recommendations for this project. So first of all methods have their own disadvantages. For example, the single ring infiltrometer has a chance of the water spreading out as it infiltrates into the ground. As for the rainfall simulator, it won't be able to cover a large area of space due to it being not possible. This brings us to the conclusion of double ring infiltrometer being the best option. Why? Because it is economical. Many of those can be installed at once, and also it gives out better data. So for recommendations, I would recommend to pour the water gently during the test. This is to not ruin the topsoil. And the second one would be to purify the water used, because as we know, impurities can affect the infiltration rate. So that is all for my part. I will be passing this presentation to the next one. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Haris bin Muhammad Amin, and I will be presenting the summary of this presentation. In summary, the report describes the variation of methods involving infiltration measurement. Flooding of basins could be used for infiltration, recharge, and storing excess stormwater, as well as benefits the environment by flowing stormwater into the soil. It could also be used as entertainment in a recreational environment. Sprinkling enhances natural rainfall penetration rates and restores the hydrological cycle, as well as the collection of rainfall, soil mixture, and storage capacity data. Rainfall simulation also assists agriculture and has less rainwater loss on smoother surfaces. Infiltration rings are used to gauge unsaturated hydraulic conductivity, as soil properties are important in controlling water infiltration. The recommendations for obtaining better results involve pouring in water gently as to not greatly disturb the topsoil, and to use purified water to decrease chances of contaminants affecting the infiltration. Thank you. I will be passing on to the next presenter.
Okay, before that, thanks to Idlam for the summary. So in this chapter, for conclusion, to conclude, in the study, there are findings from 20 research studies on the variation method of infiltration measurement. Basically, there are two objectives in the study, and one of the objectives is to compare the results obtained by previous study on the variation method of infiltration measurement. This objective is achieved. Therefore, from our discussion, we conclude that infiltrometer ring is the best method to be used. This is because the method is the most accurate field method for obtaining data on infiltration rate compared to other methods, which are flooding of basin and furrow sprinkling. Moreover, this method provides the best alternative method for obtaining data economically. Thus, we conclude that this research also achieved the main objective. I think that's all from me. Thank you.